Hey guys, this is CJC. It's problem 9, 3A. Very fun. It's in homework number 2. So, what we have here is the Sunland Company had the following assets as of January 1st, 2017. And so they have all this. During that year, each of the assets was removed from service. And it also tells us that the company uses straight line depreciation, which is what majority of companies use, and it's probably the easiest for us to figure out. So it's all good. And also that all of the depreciation was up to date as of December 31st. So since it was up to date December 31st, and then the very next day, the machinery here was retired on the 1st of January, the very next day. So let's record that for the machinery being retired. We know that it was done January 1st, so we pop that in here. And this is accumulated depreciation equipment because it had been used from January 1st, 2007, and was retired January 1st, 2017. We know it was in use for the full 10 years. So basically, we're just going to take this beautiful number here. We're going to copy and paste it right here. We always do the debit before the credit. And so we just copy them both right in there. Now, for the next one, this is to record the depreciation expense of the forklift. The forklift is here. So what we do for the depreciation expense for the forklift, we first start out and see if I can find it. I believe it's right here. The first step is we take, and I think I can do this. Oh, that's so beautiful. So we take the cost here, which is right here, and then we minus the salvage value, which is 0, and then we divide by the useful life, which is 5 years. So when we do that, it tells us what the depreciation for each year is, and that turns out to be 5,280. So with the 5,280, we find that everything was taken care of. We just need to know that 6 months between when the depreciation was up to date and when it was sold on June 30th. It's 6 months. So you do a 6 divided by 12, or as we all know, it's a half. So it's a half a year. We divide that depreciation for the year in half, and that's where we get the 2,640. So we want to put in the depreciation expense and then accumulated depreciation equipment. Now they did sell it that on June 30th, 6 months later, and they received 10,560. So we have this here, and then what we want to do is take the full depreciation. So the 3 years that they had it there, so you times, if you remember, the yearly depreciation was 5,280. You times that by 3.5. So 3 years and then the other 6 months here. Or you do the 3 years and then you add this in there. Anywho, it turns into 18,480. Now we know that the equipment cost $26,400. So we add these two together, comes to 29 something, and then you subtract the 26,400, and you get a whole, well, it's 2,640, which if you look up here, we know that's 6 months of depreciation. So they actually made a profit of 6 months of depreciation. Pretty good. I wouldn't mind having that extra in my bank account. So they did good there, and they made a gain. Now when we write the gains, they go in the bottom, and if there's a loss, they go above because it is a debit. It's a credit if it's a gain and a debit if it's a loss. But don't let me get ahead of myself. Here, for the truck depreciation, we just need whatever there was through this last year. And so what we do, if you remember this equation, let's see if I can move this down. So for the truck, we take the cost, and that's the 29,392, and then we subtract the salvage value, 2,640, and then you divide that by the useful years, which is 8. When we do that, our yearly, let me get this out of the way, per year, it ends up being 3,344. Now this was up to date December 31st, 2016, and it was, this is the truck, so they just discarded it December 31st, 2017. So we just have the 1 year. That's why I know that that is the correct number for 1 year of depreciation. So we put in depreciation expense, we debit that, and we credit the accumulated depreciation, and then it has a little slash and a equipment. For the very last part, we're recording the sale of the truck. So we take 1 year of depreciation and we times that by 6. If you look up here, the truck was 2012, 2017, this is January, so we get that full year. It ends up being 6 years. So we take this number, 1 year of depreciation, times 6, and that tells us the accumulated depreciation. However, they paid a whole lot more for that truck. I think what happened is it probably blew a head gasket or something like that, and it just wasn't worth putting it back together. So we take the 29,392, slide it in here, copy it and paste it right in here for the equipment, and then we subtract the difference, and that's where we get the loss of disposal. And this is of a plant asset. So 9,328. So like I said, this was really challenging for me. I ended up Googling it and figuring out how to do it. I think I was just a little stressed out. But anywho, I am happy that I was able to get it here for you. Hopefully this was helpful. I really hope so. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to do my best to answer them. And thank you very much.